Most people believe that the intense, breathless panic they experience in relationships is about excessive love or a character issue. You think that the knot in your stomach that begins when your partner replies late to a message is romantic over-attachment. When you sense the slightest coldness, you assume that feeling like the world is collapsing is because you love too much. But this isn't a form of love. This is a survival alarm. This isn't about you being jealous or weak. This is about a belief coded deep into your brain, the abandonment schema being activated. Moreover, this invisible schema doesn't just disrupt your inner world. Ironically, it also programs how people will respond to you. It causes you to prepare, with your own hands, the ending you fear most. Your constant search for reassurance, uncontrolled questioning, and clingy behaviors push the other person toward exactly what you fear, moving away from you. Thus, the scenario you experienced in childhood repeatedly plays out in your adulthood. This is where one of Schema Therapy's most powerful tools comes into play. Dysfunctional child modes, and specifically, the abandoned, abused child mode, the wounded child mode. This mode is the voice of that small, wounded child within you. The part that wasn't sufficiently protected in the past, didn't receive consistent love, and didn't feel safe. Schema Therapy aims to heal this child mode through reparenting. In other words, teaching you to give that little child, through your adult self today, the compassion, consistency, and safety they couldn't receive in the past. The person who most clearly revealed this invisible programming and the pain it creates was Dr. Jeffrey E. Young, the founder of Schema Therapy. Early in his career, Young asked a simple question: why weren't some people changing, especially even after cognitive therapy? Why were his clients telling him, "I know logically that I shouldn't think this way," but 5 minutes later, that panic feeling comes back? He found the answer in a place logic couldn't reach. The answer was in schemas, and more importantly, in the modes that emerged when these schemas were triggered. Young discovered that people didn't just have wrong thoughts, but also had deep emotional wounds underlying these thoughts. These wounds stemmed from unmet basic emotional needs in childhood and had crystallized as schemas in adulthood. Schemas weren't just beliefs. They were complex structures where bodily sensations, memories, emotions, and thoughts intertwined. According to Young, if one of our most basic emotional needs in childhood, the need for secure attachment and stability, was consistently unmet, our brain learns a rule. This rule is your abandonment schema. People are unreliable. The people you love are unstable. Eventually, they will leave. This rigid belief, the abandonment schema, can lie dormant for years. Until, in adulthood, your partner sends you that message. At that moment, when that schema is triggered, it's not your logical, career-having, 30-year-old adult self that takes the wheel. The part of you that experiences the pain of that schema directly, frightened, helpless, and left alone, takes over. Your wounded child mode takes the wheel. When this mode is active, you're no longer in today's reality. You're living in the emotional reality of the past. Your partner replying 10 minutes late feels like the day your mother forgot you at daycare. The problem isn't your partner being cold to you at that moment. The problem is you completely identifying with that schema and that mode at that moment. At that moment, you're no longer a rational adult. At that moment, you're a 6-year-old helpless child who has lost their mother's hand in the marketplace. This is the wounded child mode taking over the body. Your heart racing? This isn't excitement. This is the fight or flight response. Your body is giving the alarm. My life is in danger. I'm being abandoned. That knot in your stomach? This isn't sensitivity. This is your body stopping digestion to prepare itself for the worst. Constantly checking your phone, reading messages over and over, analyzing every word? This isn't interest. This is a survival strategy scanning for threats. And when you're in this mode, you emit an invisible frequency. Your tone suddenly becomes thinner, more demanding, more anxious. Your messages increase. Where are you? Are you okay? Is something wrong? You tell the other person what you don't say in words. Pay attention to me. Give me reassurance, or I'll die. This energy triggers something in the other person, often a feeling of being overwhelmed, because without realizing it, you're asking them to parent you, to fill that rootless fear of yours. But no adult can parent another adult, and the weight of this impossible demand slowly suffocates the relationship. This is precisely when what you fear most begins to happen. The other person withdraws, becomes distant, says you're too intense. And here the vicious cycle begins. This is what Schema Therapy calls this self-fulfilling prophecy. This is the tragedy of the abandonment schema. This cycle has 4 stages. First step, belief. Your partner acts cold. Your abandonment schema is triggered. Here it starts. They'll abandon me. I'll be alone. Second step, behavior. The wounded child mode takes the wheel, panics, does everything to win that person back, to not be abandoned. Constantly calls, asks, "Do you love me?" Becomes excessively jealous, maybe starts a fight. In short, suffocates the partner. Third step, feedback. Your partner becomes overwhelmed by this panic-filled, suffocating behavior, feels trapped. And what do? They do exactly what you fear. They pull away. Give me some space, they say. Don't crowd me. Fourth step, confirmation. And your wounded child mode looks at your partner's withdrawal and screams, "See, I was right. Everyone abandons. They're unreliable." And thus the schema is reinforced once again, strengthened once again. To escape this cycle, you cling to a mask. This might be an overly attentive, clingy mask, or perhaps the opposite, an emotionally distant, detached mask. No one can get close to me, so no one can abandon me. The world responds to your coping mask, and the mask strengthens. And that underlying wounded child never attains real, secure love and stability. In Schema Therapy, these masks are called coping modes. These are strategies you've developed to survive, but paradoxically, they distance you from what you truly want. The clingy mask drives people away. The emotionally distant mask doesn't let them get close at all. So, how is this cycle broken? The answer isn't to silence that wounded child, scold them, or be ashamed of them, because you heard exactly that as a child, and it didn't work. The answer is for you to finally provide that child with the secure parenting they never received in their life. This is called developing the healthy adult mode. This is a 4-step practice. This is the model for breaking the schema. The healthy adult mode is that wise, compassionate, and balanced voice within you, the part that both understands your wounded child's pain and can see today's reality. First step, notice and name. The moment that panic feeling comes, immediately stop. Instead of getting lost in that flood of emotions, take a mental step back and name what you're feeling. Stop. This intense panic I'm feeling right now isn't proportional to current reality, 10%. This is about my past, 90%. I'm not in the driver's seat right now. My wounded child mode is active right now. And this is a feeling. This is not a fact. This moment of awareness can happen in seconds, but its effect is revolutionary. Because when you identify with the schema, you become that fear itself. But when you notice the schema, you become its observer. The distinction: I'm not someone who's panicking. I'm someone noticing the panic, moves you from victim position to active participant position. Second step, activate the healthy adult. Now list the evidence against the wounded child's belief. What is the wounded child saying? They're bored with me. They'll abandon me. They don't love me anymore. Now the healthy adult speaks. Okay, I understand this feeling. But what's the actual evidence? They fell asleep hugging me last night. They made me coffee this morning. They made amazing plans for next weekend. Right now, the work meeting just ran long. I have no concrete, real evidence that I'm being abandoned. I just have a very strong feeling from the past. What's important here is not rejecting the wounded child's feeling, but also not blindly surrendering to it. The healthy adult is both empathetic and realistic, just like a good parent's approach to a frightened child. Third step, heal the child. This is the most important part. Logic alone doesn't heal the schema. You need to meet that child's emotional need. Now, close your eyes for 2 minutes. Visualize that 6-year-old frightened, panicked version of yourself. Now, with your present-day healthy adult self, go to that child. Get down to their eye level. Hug them. And tell them the sentences you desperately wanted to hear as a child. I know you're very scared. You thought you'd be alone again. This is a terrifying feeling. But I'm here. You're not alone anymore. I will never abandon you. Even if they leave, I'll take care of you. I'm with you. You're safe. This imagery work has a powerful neurobiological effect because the brain cannot make a complete distinction between imagined experience and real experience. When you approach yourself with compassion, your brain releases bonding and trust hormones like oxytocin and endorphins. Each time you practice this technique, you're encoding a new experience into that wounded child's neural networks. Someone is here now. I'm not alone anymore. This is called limited reparenting in Schema Therapy. Fourth step, change the behavior. The only way to break the cycle is to change one link in the cycle. What does the wounded child mode want to do? Call 10 times in panic. Demand an explanation. Beg, tell me you love me. What does the healthy adult mode do? Does the exact opposite of what the schema commands? Puts the phone on silent, makes a cup of tea, reads a book for an hour, or calls a friend to talk about something else. You give your brain this message. I didn't panic and I didn't die. I wasn't abandoned. You behaviorally prove to the schema that you no longer need its strategies. Each new behavior attempt creates a new neural pathway in the brain. At first, this pathway is like a thin trail, but with each repetition, it widens and strengthens, and the old schema-based pathway weakens and begins to fade when not used. When you start applying these 4 steps, an ominous cycle breaks. Now the cycle reverses. A virtuous cycle begins. 1. Healthy belief, awareness. I'm scared right now, but this is about my past. My partner might just be busy. This is the first whisper of the healthy adult. 2. Better action, new behavior. Instead of sending 10 panic messages, I just send a call. Secure message like, talk when your work's done, love. Or I don't send anything and focus on my own life. 3. Measurable result, new feedback. Your partner responds to this non-panicked, calm and secure energy. Doesn't feel suffocated. They also return to you with warmth and interest. Meeting just ended. It was terrible. I missed you. What are we doing tonight? 4. Identity update, schema weakens. And at that moment, your wounded child mode realizes, wait a minute, I didn't panic. The world didn't end. And they didn't leave. In fact, they were warmer to me. So I can be safe. Your identity slowly begins to shift from someone doomed to abandonment to someone who can attach securely. Each small success makes the next one easier. Over time, this new cycle becomes so strong that old schema-based reactions gradually become quieter. Healing isn't the complete disappearance of the schema. Those wounds will always be part of your story. But the schema is no longer in the driver's seat. It sits quietly in the back seat. As you repeat this practice, applying those 4 steps, every day with each trigger, your identity shifts. You no longer constantly ask permission, saying, love me, to exist, to breathe in relationships. You no longer cling to people who treat you badly, who ignore you, as if they were doing you a favor, because you're desperately afraid of being alone. Because now you know, even if the worst scenario happens, even if that person really leaves, you have a healthy adult who will take care of you, who will hold and embrace that wounded child. You no longer love with the panic of, please don't abandon me. But the serenity of being with you is wonderful. But if you leave, I will continue to exist. This signals to the other person that you're valuable, not needy. This isn't arrogance. This is the unshakable, aligned serenity that comes from finally taking ownership of that abandoned child. This is your quiet power. And this power, paradoxically, makes you more attractive because you're no longer forming relationships to fill a void, but to share. People feel this difference. That desperate clinginess in your energy has been replaced by a calm presence. For the first time, you experience love, not as a survival strategy, but as a free choice. Remember, no one can parent that little child within you better than you can. No one can give you the reassurance you need to give yourself. As long as you search for that reassurance outside, the schema will continue to win. Reassurance isn't obtained from outside. Reassurance is built inside by taking those 4 steps every day. Now I want something from you. Think of one small victory you'll achieve today. As the healthy adult, maybe it's that message you won't send in panic. Or maybe it's closing your eyes for 5 minutes to show the child compassion. You don't have to be perfect. You won't completely defeat the schema on your first try, but each small step opens a new path in the brain. Maybe today you'll reach for the phone, but pull your hand back. Maybe when that panic comes, you'll just say, hello, wounded child, I see you. What will your one small victory be? Share it with me and this community in the comments. Let's inspire each other's healthy adult modes. And if you want to continue this journey, my next video will be about how to silence that merciless inner voice that constantly feeds this wounded child, the punitive parent mode. Until then, take care of yourself and the child within you.